There was the other topic that Manfred addressed yesterday that regarded the impending bankruptcy of Diamond Sports Group. Now, Diamond Sports Group is the subsidiary of Sinclair that runs the multiple Bally Sports regional networks that we have for the Guardians and Cavaliers games. So, Diamond Sports Group announced Wednesday that it would skip its $140 million interest only payment and thus enter a grace period that will probably lead to a bankruptcy filing. Then this could impact the regional sports networks because now it's like, where are these games going to be broadcast? Now, Manfred, I think, gave a better answer to this on Wednesday. He says he hopes teams will be continue to be paid their rights fees while the process plays out. Saying that the teams don't want to have they don't want the teams to have financial difficulties, and they've been spending a lot of time and effort trying to work with them, figure out where they are. He says, we think it'll be both linear in the traditional cable bundle and digitally on our own platforms, but that remains to be seen. Now, as I said, our first hope is that Diamond figures out a way to pay the clubs and broadcast the games like they're contractually obligated to do. I mean, you have a whole network dedicated to the league. You have a streaming base that fans could tune into. It's a little tricky now with YouTube TV viewers like myself who lost MLB Network. That being said, it looks like at least Major League Baseball could have something in setting to offset what is potentially a disaster for Diamond.
We'll have to wait and see. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Until it happens, I'm not going to give MLB the benefit of the doubt. This is a spot, though, Mitch, where I can't blame Rob Manfred. As much as I do not like him, as critical as I am of him, this is something out of his control. He does not run the Diamond Sports Group. Right. He was not a part of the Diamond Sports Group that purchased, what was it, from Fox for $10.6 billion. And he is not the head of Diamond Sports Group that is now going, as it looks like, to fail for bankruptcy. So this is out of his control. But to me, this goes back to what I just said about him in the blackout restrictions. This is a potential spot for Manfred to flip the script and get baseball viewership back to where we would like it to be and make all the games accessible. Now, obviously, there's going to be a few teams that aren't affected by this at all. You look at the Yankees, who have their own network, the Red Sox, I believe the Cubs and White Sox, or at least just the Cubs, have their own network.
The Dodgers.
I think there's about 7 teams in baseball that have their own network that are not affiliated with Bally Sports and the Diamond Sports Group or formerly Fox. It's going to be interesting. I hope that, like Rob says, they're contractually obligated to still fulfill their dues and their deeds of broadcasting these games for teams on this network. I hope they still do that. We'll have to see what happens because, Mitch, this doesn't just affect the viewership. He mentioned in that quote you read, and I have it pulled up here in front of me, they paid so much to be able to do this, and they owe teams money. And that money, Mitch, goes to the team and allows the team to spend that money on players. I believe we saw it when the Indians at the time, back in 2013, signed the likes of Nick Swisher and Michael Bourne because we went from Sports Time Ohio to Fox Sports Ohio. And with the money and the cash inflow that the Indians organization got at the time, that allowed us to go out and do something we don't really do, and that's spend money in free agency. And now if these teams don't get that money, teams like us, teams like the Oakland A's, the Tampa Bay Rays, these teams are at the bottom of the payroll, Mitch, are now losing out on more money. And that's not the organization's fault. As critical as you can be of Paul Dolan and other owners, that's not their fault. They signed an agreement and it was fulfilled and supposed to be promised of money and this much money on this date and so on and so forth. Not only could this hurt MLB in terms of viewership, but this could hurt teams financially and how they're going to go about paying players. So it's very intriguing. Like, this is something I'm intrigued by. And like I said, I can't put the blame on Rob Manfred of Major League Baseball here.
No, and the only thing that concerns me about and getting Major League Baseball getting those rights back to potentially end the blackouts is a good thing. Going direct to consumer, though, would not allow the league to match the money that it currently generates through the cable model, according to Manfred, at least not in the short term. But it could be a short-term fix while we figure out what's going on with Diamond, because if they miss any payments to these teams, the teams can easily just terminate those contracts.
Right. And I'm sure some teams have contingency plans for if that happens, they terminate contracts of how the games could be broadcasted regionally per every market and every team. And let's, for us as Guardians fans, Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, Andre, not that we're so accustomed to seeing on Bally Sports. Let's keep in mind, Matt Underwood and Rick Manning have been with them since it was Sports Time Ohio. So it's not like if Bally Sports falls out and can't do that, I would see those guys disappearing. I would like to think most teams have contingency plans and maybe ways for fans to still be able to tune into a regular broadcast, go out to a bar, with friends or family and be able to eat and watch baseball on TV. We'll have to wait and see, because this is going to be very, very odd. And hopefully if things do go south fast and they don't have the right contingency plans, and I'm talking about for every team, hopefully it's just this season, right? You don't want to see this spill over into 2024, 25, 26, so on and so forth, which I don't think it would. I don't know. As long as I can watch Guardians games, I'll be happy. But Mitch, if I can't watch Guardians games, I'm going to be one angry man.